All right, Nick, the Detroit Lions, a team on fire right now. This is a team who's coming off a really, really big win. The team needed this. I think it was overall a great team win. And there's some really key performers, mainly star pass rusher Aiden Hutchinson, 3 sacks, huge game. But we have a story that shows that this kind of was bigger than just the football being played on the field. And we're going to get into that story a little bit. But before we go there, Lions fans, I want to know where you have a story about some really cool fan interaction that's Aiden Hutchinson based. And we want to know in the comments below, what's the coolest fan interaction you've ever heard of a player doing? I'll give you an example. For instance, I remember a few years back, J.J. Watt went to a couple children's hospitals, and he dedicated a game to a young fan who was in a wheelchair, and the kid asked him to do a wheelchair sack dance after he got a sack in the game, and he did it. And it was really cool. They shot a little piece about it beforehand. But let us know in the comments below, what's the coolest fan interaction that you've ever heard of? But Nick, what do you have on Aiden Hutchinson?
So this is interesting, right? So we know NFL players, they're stars, they're superhuman athletes, but there also are role models and leaders in the community. You mentioned J.J. Watt, and Aiden Hutchinson's following in those shoes very, very well so far in his Lions career. So this is according to NFL.com. Number 2 overall pick, Aiden Hutchinson set a Detroit Lions rookie record Sunday, generating 3 sacks in a win over the Washington Commanders. The first-round selection played with extra motivation from 5-year-old Hudson Gadsey, who was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia on September 7th. This game is dedicated to Hudson, who is a kid who just got diagnosed with leukemia, Hutchinson said after the game. He's a big Lions fan. He's from my area. I sent him a video before the game. He was cheering me on. I'm just happy to have good games to spread causes to kids like that, just raise a lot of awareness for things like that. Before the game, Hutchinson recorded video for Gadsey in the stadium. This is what Hutchinson told Gadsey on the video that they play at the stadium. Just keep pushing through and keep hanging in there. I know you're kind of going through it right now, but hopefully you'll find a little motivation in watching our game Sunday and keep rooting for me and put on that little eye black in support of me. All right, Miles, so this is really, really cool. Obviously, sports figures doing this goes back to the Babe Ruth days, right, where he famously visited a kid in the hospital, says he's going to hit a home run for that kid, and goes out and does this. I love this from Aiden Hutchinson because this is one of the important things that makes football great and makes, just this kind of environment great, where you have these players recognize the role they have in their communities and their cities, especially for a young guy like Hutchinson to come out and embrace that. I think that's a really exciting and really positive development for the Detroit Lions. We talk about the Lions building a culture. Isn't it just another example of this great foundation they've set up there in Detroit?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And we've been going on and on and on about the cultural rebuild of the Detroit Lions. And this is just a big way that Aiden Hutchinson, a rookie nonetheless, a star on the team, a guy that's growing to be a big leader on the team. And I like how, I gave the J.J. Watt story, but a good comp for him is a J.J. Watt-esque style of player. I think he's going to be the face of this city. I think he's going to be a captain, a leader on this team eventually. He's going to be a big-time guy for the city of Detroit. So I really like what he did here. I like that he's already reaching out. Game 2, reaching out to young fans, trying to be an inspiration for everybody. And unselfishly for Hutchinson, doing that kind of probably gives you a little bit of extra motivation, a little extra gas to go into these games. Obviously, he was able to go out and get 3 sacks. So if he keeps, letting the city rather fuel him and his performances, it seems like this could be a good formula for him to come out and, have a special attachment to the city, a special attachment in these games, and go out and perform at his best, don't you think?
Yeah, so motivational speaker and author Simon Sinek, he wrote a book that was very famous. He said, I think it's something to do with it starts with why. Basically, he's talking about in order to have any sort of success or, enjoyment out of life, you need to know your why. Why are you doing this? What are you doing this for? And you kind of bring up the point about Hutchinson maybe giving him more motivation. The fact that him and probably the whole Detroit Lions organization, knowing what Dan Campbell is doing there, has a why, right? Remember, what did Dan Campbell say last year after they, They beat the Minnesota Vikings. I think he dedicated the game ball to the shooting and to those people that died at high school in the state of Michigan, right? The why is greater than just winning. The why is greater than just putting up stats. The why is better than, getting a bigger contract. The why is, being the team that supports Michigan, Detroit, and all of that, and just getting everybody behind that momentum. And when you have a strong why, right, that gives you the motivation to get up in the morning, put in time in the film room, go to have a good practice, get your nose in the playbook, get ready to get, the schemes down and the game plan down, and then go into the game and put that extra little motivation, because it's all that little things, right, that can push you over the top. And it seems like this Detroit Lions organization, and especially here at Aiden Hutchinson, really has found their why.